Hello, hi there, this is Lita, and in this video we're going to learn more about DreamClass. DreamClass is a school information system, so if you're watching this video, chances are that you might need a system for attendance and for grading, invoicing, admissions, and communication. So if you are in need of streamlining those operations for your school, college, or academy, or after school, you're in the right place. So DreamClass is a cloud solution. That means that you can use it with any modern browser and your data is fully encrypted and secure. That being said, if you would like to get to know the product a little bit better, the first thing that you should start with is either booking a demo with us or creating a free trial account. So I'm going to start by explaining a little bit these operations and how you can use it for your school. So the first thing that the system gives you access to is a database for your students. So you know all their names, you can upload pictures, what grade level they are. If you don't use levels in your organization, you don't have to use fifth grade. You can say English level 1, or you can say another certificate program. Those are fully customizable from the curriculum section, and you can change their names and add it however you want. So the students is menu is one of the most important ones because you're able to see at a glance a student's record, who is the mom, who is the dad, and also personal contact information, as well as other information such as allergies or any other information you might be tracking for your students. You can also see at a glance the attendance of the kiddo, and you can also see the financial bird's eye view so that you know how much money this parent or student has paid and how much money is still left to be paid. So when we go to the families menu, it's the same view, but now we see mom, dad, and children in one overview. And we're also able to access their financial records and invoice them directly. For those three elements, students, teachers, and families, we actually connect them together through classes. So classes is an abstract creation we've built into DreamClass, so you're able to manage your activities at your institution. If you're a school, then you have a group of kids, first grade, second grade, third grade, fourth grade, all the way to 12th. And each of these are just groups where we track and measure grades, attendance, and we just manage the whole structure of what the kiddos are doing, who is the teacher. So let's see how that connects. So if I want to go to the fourth grade and I would like to enroll students, you can choose over here your grade filtering, and you're able to select all the fourth graders, and you can simply assign them to that class by clicking save. The moment you do that, all the students inherit the schedule of the class. So if you see here, you can add that English language arts is being taught at 10 a.m. in the morning every day of the week. So each class has its own dedicated schedule. And every student who is part of that classroom immediately inherits the schedule. So I'll just visit quickly that student so you can see that immediately I inherited that schedule. That's just one of the aspects of what this class or class roster does in DreamClass. It's one of the most important entities. Then once you click a particular course, you're able to assign a teacher to it. So you can say, for example, that Paul Smith is the lead instructor and he will be teaching ELA 4. So the kids are part of the fourth grade, therefore they are taking all of the classes that the fourth grade should take. So this will take us now to the other operations that typically a school would run. If you would like to track attendance for the 4 kids, you're able to visit the attendance menu and simply assign it to a secretary or a lead administrator, and that person can be responsible of tracking just 1 second. It takes 1 second to do it. And then you just change the status of another individual to absent. Our system has a wonderful functionality where once a child has been marked as absent, you can go to the automation section and you're able to enable the notification that goes to the parents, which can be sent as an email. This is part of our standard plans. And you also have the option to contact them with SMS. So choose whichever one is okay with your budget. About attendance, another wonderful thing that we streamline is that the parents are able to automatically report an absence from their parent portal, which we're going to see shortly. And the grading is one of the most important ones. And this is just, again, a quick demonstration. So you do need to dedicate it some time here to get to know it. But essentially in DreamClass, you're able to create any column of any grade and simply give the teachers the opportunity to grade a student with a number or to grade a student with letters. Our system has a very smart way of converting letters to words. That's why we call it the mapping. And then essentially down the line, if this is something that you would like to do, you are able to issue report cards. We have actually two types of templates, so you can choose whichever one you want. We have the layout classic and the layout modern, and it's very simple to add the grades. I will be going through this in another video, but this is just for you to know how this is working. One of the most amazing functionalities that we have is the following. Essentially, in a grade book, your teachers are going to be putting in grades. And in the report card you saw earlier, you're able to create your own comments. So you can actually type things here and you can connect it to a specific term and it's going to show up. Instead of writing it yourself, sometimes our teachers like to use the create using the AI, which essentially reads into all the grades your teachers have put in. Let me show you again. In the teacher grade book, we've added assignments, we have quizzes, and once this is actually something that is going to be graded, this feeds into the AI, and we now know that Jane's performance actually can be perfectly described by this comment. Once you decide to show this in the report card, essentially the previous document we saw gets enriched more, and you have this information over here. And you are also able to demonstrate the attendance data very easily by selecting that, and you can very easily sign every report. So once you print it automatically at the end of the semester, it's going to show up here. Essentially, this is one of the most used functionalities, the report card, because our schools would like to either send these to the parents. So we have a dedicated menu where you can email the report cards of. So in this part of the video, we're going to see how admissions and forms is working in DreamClass. So essentially, in the left-hand side menu, you have the option admissions and forms. So in DreamClass, how this works is that you're able to edit an application form by simply creating a new application form. I'm going to show you how that looks like so you can see the end result. But essentially, you can admit new families or students into your school. So you see in this option, you have welcome to the new academic year. You have the different fields that the parents have to fill out. You have different information for the children that you would like to collect. You can have them upload specific documentation such as vaccination records or other important documents. You can add a statement of faith. You can have people sign different parts of the form. And then once they're ready to submit their application, they can pay the fee that it's actually powered by Stripe. So if you want to offer this as part of the admissions, you can do that. If not, you can completely skip this. Now, when a parent submits the application, you have a dedicated tab called submissions. So you're able to see how many different application forms have been submitted for this academic year. You can see all the different types of answers that they have provided. And if you're ready to accept this family, you can click process and select save changes. Once you do that, the system does something wonderful. It creates a new admission section it creates a new, record of the student without you having to do anything else manually. If you need a dedicated demo, please write it in the comments and we'll provide it. Bye. Last but not least, we're going to talk about invoicing. So through our system, you're able to invoice your families. You can send invoices directly to your students if they're adults. So the process is very simple. You have a dedicated menu called fees and invoicing. And in the fee section, you simply generate the fees that you want to collect. So in this example, you see it has category. In the category, we have 4 different categories: admissions, tuition. In this case, I'm just going to go for tuition, and I'm going to call it yearly tuition. You can name it anything you want. It just has to make sense to you. And the payment schedule, select one off. One off means you're charging it for one time. It doesn't have a recurring essence. If you do have payments that are monthly, please select the monthly option, which is every month. If it's twice a month, select that, and you have a plethora of options. So in this case, we wanted to collect the yearly tuition from all of our families. So let's quickly do that. I'm going to add that the amount is $12,000. And as soon as you add this in the dedicated category, it's created over here. And you can see that it has $12,000, no students. This indicates that it has not been assigned to any student just of yet. So let's do it. Click Assign To. And the next step is you're going to get a list of all your students, right? And then I want to select all of them or maybe half of them, depending on who's going to pay yearly. So you have control over that. You can edit the date so you can assign it starting on the 13th, starting in the beginning of the month. And once you click Assign to 106 students, boom, this is it. You assigned it to 103 students in bulk. And now you're ready to invoice people in bulk. To invoice people, now I'll show you the bulk option, but you can do it manually. You can collect fees with auto payment. I'll show you in a second. So this is the way where I get to issue this invoice for all the parents in one go. So I can select an issue date and the due date. And once I do that, it says 56 families. So you can see which families are going to be invoiced. And I will click Issue Invoices, Create and Notify. And this is going to send an email to all the parents that they need to pay their tuition. DreamClass sends them an automated notification. You don't need to do anything else on top of this. And you can go to the message history and you can see the email list. So this is how that looks like. This is the trial, so it says it's a demo, but once you become a paid subscriber, this is removed. So it says, hi, Paul, thank you so much for being part of this school. Click here to pay your invoices. If you do not want that and you want things to be a little bit more automated, you are able to go to automations, and by turning auto invoicing on as well as auto payments, you're able to have parents give you their credit card information and you can charge it automatically every month without them having to do anything manually. Last but not least, this is a very popular way amongst ESA schools and among schools that are receiving payments outside of this environment, meaning not digitally. So in DreamClass, you are able to go to any invoice and you're able to add a payment and record it manually. Manually means this, that I click Record Payment, I choose the payment method, in this case it's DDD, and I click Save. The difference with the other option that I'm going to show you is that one is manually, you record it, but once the parents pay online, I just wanted you to quickly see the process. There is a window where the parent is going to add their credit card information. So it says $1,300 and you can see the credit card information, or they're able to pay with Google Pay or Link or whatever other payment methodology your school allows. Thank you so much for watching this sequence of different features into one video. If you have any questions, please write a comment down below or go to our website, www.dreamclass.io, and you have a dedicated section where you're able to book a demo. Thank you so much for watching this video. And if there's anything else that we can do for you, please let us know. Bye.